we all are here, I mean, this whole morning we've been talking a lot about the digital future of India, right? And talking about the future, I want to start here. This is where I want to start. I want to talk about the next billion ambition. And really diving into what do I mean by that, this is a quick snapshot of the digital India of 2018, right? We are a 1.3 billion strong young nation. But out of that, only about a third, a little over third of that population are actually active internet users, right? And this number by no means is a small number. And I will try to put some context to it. Can anybody in the room guess the population of United States of America? Wild guess. Yes, please. 30 crores, 323 million, very, very close, right? So our active internet users are actually more than the total population of the United States of America. So this is a gold mine, this is an opportunity, and any organization that does business online, who depend on their revenues online, who depend on using the internet for reaching their customers through the public internet, they know that this opportunity exists today. But what we are really eyeing for is that next billion. And this next billion ambition, it's really the ambition and the mission of this entire country as a whole. Our policymakers, our regulators, our telecom operators, and all the businesses that operate online in various industries, they are trying to make this happen. They want those billion users to come online. Once these billion users come online, I mean, and this is an opportunity. If you are a credit card company, you are an insurance organization, you're a payment platform, you're a bank, a retail bank, all of us acknowledge that we cannot afford to lose on this opportunity to make these billion users become our customers, right? So all of you people in this room, if you are the people responsible for the digital strategies of your companies, then you are bound to answer the questions, 3 questions, right? Are your digital platforms enabled to scale for this spike in the number of users coming online? Second, the platforms tomorrow, the scalability for tomorrow also is a part of the previous question. And the second question is that, are you strategizing for creating the customized products and solution offerings to suit the preferences and expectations of these new users? Because these users are going to be from various backgrounds. A lot of them rural, more millennial urban users. Some prefer value, some prefer convenience. So there are a lot of nuances that are built around customizing your products and solutions and bringing that rapid innovation and in your customer experience design to cater to these expectations. And the third question is, while you are doing that rapid innovation, are you leaving any holes for the bad actors on the internet to exploit? Security, right? 3 important questions to answer. And so right here, before I go any further, I want to propose 2 primary pillars of your digital strategy to consider. These billion users, when they come online, they will turn to businesses who they can trust and who give them a user experience that is fast and seamless and painless. This is exactly what you need to do to grab your piece of that big billion pie, right? And very, very pertinent question again to answer is that why exactly will a user choose one retail bank over the other retail bank, or one insurance carrier over other insurance carrier? ATM is an ATM, 100 rupee note is a 100 rupee note. What exactly can we do? And the answer is how you differentiate, right? It's a very obvious answer, how you differentiate. There's been a lot of research that Akamai and Forrester have done jointly, and from a larger contextual proposition here is that customer data is the core of all your differentiation efforts. And to us, there are 4 main pillars of differentiation. I'm going to walk them through. The first and the most important is user experience, right? I wake up in the morning, I talk to Alexa, I shop on Amazon, I book my hotel and travel. All these retail experiences really set my expectations of what's possible. And to be very honest, the FSI industry is lagging far behind the retail industry in matching up to those expectations. So that's the first goal. If you can match those expectations, you are the preferred provider. Very simple. And honestly, if in today's day and age, your customers won't choose this, they're also not going to choose this. So it's very important how you define the customer experience for yourself and your business. And the next is really how you protect your customer data. If there is a breach, then the damage is much more than the cost of remediation. It is much far beyond that. The cost of remediation is just the tangible, quantifiable cost, but the brand loss, the loss in trust, the customer attrition, the customers who stay will share less data, and then you won't have the data to base your future innovation on. So you lose your future revenue. So there is a big cost to pay if you really are not able to protect your customers' data. And third is personalization. This has been mentioned a lot of times since this morning, is that it all depends upon how you capture your user behavior and experience data, how you process it, and how you apply it to really create those custom offerings that your customers care about. And you have to constantly innovate to be able to do that. The world is much more agile than it used to be. And last but not the least, and in fact, the most important for the India's market is winning the mobile challenge. Majority of those new billion customers are going to be coming online through their mobiles. They have in fact never seen or used a desktop in their life. And to be honest, my parents are one of those people. And today they are buying carrots with Paytm, which is amazing. I could have never imagined that 1.5 years ago. And so in my role as a product marketing manager, I get to hear a lot of customer stories about their digital strategies, and these organizations are spread across a wide spectrum of digital maturity. And by digital maturity, I mean their ability to be online first, or their ability for cloud adoption. And a common theme that's highlighted in majority of those conversations is they are not able to balance the two key pillars of those differentiation that I just talked about, which is security and customer experience. So, and when I say customer experience, I actually think about the business as a whole, because that is the key revenue driver. So balancing between security and customer experience is a challenge. And why that's so is because mostly security is driven by regulatory pressures or fear of fraud, which is good, but in the process of implementing and executing those security mandates, we weigh down our ability to rapidly innovate and create those custom products and solutions that I was just talking about. Having understood this, the question still remains that how do we enable our businesses to progress forward, but still in a responsible manner by minimizing risk, is the real question in everybody's mind. Like I said, I hear a lot of stories, and I think this is a great platform to share one of those stories. I also think that this one is great because it is really an exemplary leader in trying to solve that problem. They have been able to solve a core problem that most organizations face in their journey to the cloud. And in fact, most organizations hesitate moving to the cloud because this is a core problem they are not able to solve, right? So this organization here, it's a large global FS organization. I'm not allowed to say the name, but you would recognize if I said it. They have multiple lines of businesses, and all these businesses have their own strategies, and they are going in their own directions, executing them rapidly, progressing their business. But they are supported by common IT teams, common IT and security teams. So scalability is a little bit of a problem. They also have a lot of positive things going on for them. They are cloud first. They have a developer focus, which means they empower their developers to build applications that are conducive to their customer experiences. They are empowered to make decisions that are good for their businesses without being hampered by the regulatory pressures and the security hurdles. So all great, but what it means for them building, deploying, and delivering these web applications is that these web applications are proliferating on various cloud platforms. They're using AWS, Azure, Google, name it which cloud you'd like. So from a business perspective, this is great because they are leveraging the cloud for the scalability that we just talked about. But from a security perspective, this is a nightmare because those limited security teams are stretched thin trying to accommodate the proprietary security solutions of each of these cloud vendors. So what they did to really solve this is that they brought a cloud agnostic layer in front of all of their applications, which provides the security and the performance that their users expect. And the cloud agnostic layer helps them really enable the business, but delegate all the security hurdles to a third party. So they use Akamai integrated cloud platform along with our performance management solutions and our cloud security solutions for DDoS protection, for WAF, and I will get into the whole portfolio that Akamai has to offer. But this is really the primary positioning for Akamai. This is how we fit in your technology stack. When you are thinking about your digital strategies, you are mostly starting from from cloud adoption to moving your infrastructure into the cloud. And at the end, the real goal is superior digital experience that is secure, and it's preserved from your origin through the middle mile to the last mile towards the end users. And what cloud delivery platform like Akamai does is comes in the middle. It takes the applications from the cloud and delivers it to your end user while preserving the user experience through the middle mile and the last mile. And in doing so, it also gives you a distributed layer of cloud security. So this is another case study where a major financial institution, asset management company was struggling with bots. They were struggling with credential stuffing. And for those of you who are not really familiar with the security terms, credential stuffing is essentially attackers using botnets or an army of bots to try stolen credentials on a company's website. And if one of those credentials work, they will take that account over and do the fraudulent activity. Now, this is a large FSI company, so obviously they have their fraud management workflows and solutions in place, but they were not really able to catch all of them, and they were losing about $100K per day, and 8,000 accounts were being taken over every day. That's a big loss, and you have to bear it because you cannot pass it on to your customers for the same reason of preserving customer trust. So they actually started using behavioral bot detection solution from Akamai. And the way it is different from their traditional solutions is that their traditional solutions were trying to mitigate it at the end of the kill chain where the fraudulent activity was actually happening. But Akamai's solution can catch it at the start of the kill chain before the bot even gets through to the account. So it's about early detection and mitigation, and this is the result. They were able to reduce their losses to just 1 or 2, 3 account takeovers per month and just 1 to 2K per day. So this is a great story to tell again because this is the first time I had seen a quantifiable ROI for upping your security practices. Otherwise, usually it's just a little bit of a fear or regulatory driven. So what Akamai has to offer, we have a DDoS protection solution. For those who are not really familiar with the security term, this is basically a volumetric attack which is meant to overwhelm your origin infrastructure and bring it down. If the origin is able to sustain just about 100 requests per second, it will send 1 million requests per second and bring it down. So we are able to absorb these volumetric attacks of large capacity. The recent attack that we mitigated was about 1.3 terabits per second, which is the world's largest DDoS attack. We have web application protection and API protection solutions. And a quick pause here because a lot has been said about importance of APIs in FSI. If you are looking at your progressive business models of having open APIs to share the data with your partners, your fintech partners, with your vendors, with your peers, just like the West has been doing for a long time now, and the expectation is that we would have our own regulations like open banking regulations in Europe. This is really critical because the traditional protection mechanisms are designed for the traditional web architectures. So API protection mechanisms are unique and they are part of our portfolio. You don't have to have a special solution for API protection. Bot management we already talked about as an example for credential stuffing. And so these are apps which are you have apps which are customer facing, but you also have internal apps which your employees are using day in and day out. So you need to have unified access control systems for letting these people access your apps on the cloud and the SaaS apps. And also external controls so that you're protected against command and control and phishing attacks. And then the next one really, so similarly we have a performance management portfolio, and to us everything starts with knowing what your customers are experiencing in real time, which is what the monitoring and validation performance solutions are. And once you know where the problem is it JavaScript, is it CSS, is it an image which is a problem, you are able to have the right solution to fix it in the real time. And these solutions are automated, so you don't really have to work for it. They apply machine learning for automated optimizations based on the situations of the end users, where they are coming from, which device, which geography, their network condition. It is all real-time optimization. I'll just take 30 more seconds. API protection we've already talked about. You also have other parameters like authentication and rate controls and quota management, for which API gateways are important. We have our own Internet of Things platform, and we have recently announced a blockchain platform for payment, which is going to be one of its kind because it can sustain up to 10 million transactions per second. We are partnering with Bank of Tokyo, and that's going to be a one-of-kind solution. And these are really key recommendations. We've talked about them already. So customer data is the core of all your differentiation activities. If you are a leader in your domain, then you need to be able to strike the right balance between security and user experience. And when you're looking for a solution partner, don't just look for a vendor. Look for a partner who has an integrated platform to give you all the solutions you need. And application delivery is key in addition to your cloud strategy. We also have NetMagic as our India global partner for our Akamai's delivery platform. So if you discuss your needs with them, they should be able to help you with all kinds of solutions we have. They should be a single point of contact, which makes it easy for you, and they should also be able to give you better pricing and bundles according to your needs. So please feel free to talk to the team of experts we have here. We will look forward to hearing from you.